It's part of my philosophy that Canada should be taxing transactions that do not add anything to our national wealth or our productive capacity. We do that already in the taxation of lotteries. The government, from their lottery commissions, take about 48% of the investment in a lottery ticket as their share. That is just like any other tax. It's what government takes from a transaction. However, there are other things similar to a lottery ticket. A lottery ticket's a piece of paper that somebody buys and that really has no real wealth or assets connected to it. It's just an exchange of money. And also our secondary markets in financial instruments, the derivatives and the hedge funds and the shares and the bonds. Once any share or bond is issued, the initial public offering, any future transactions of that is of no benefit to the rest of society except the two that are executing the transaction. And it actually harms the rest of society. It takes funds that could be invested in other productive assets, either private assets, factories and farms and all kinds of productive enterprises, or it could be invested in government infrastructure. But that money's being bled out of the system and put in the trade of these papers. So since neither lottery tickets nor the trading in secondary financial instruments provide no addition to the wealth of the country, they both should be taxed. And if there's a 48% tax on the value of a lottery transaction, perhaps there should be a 48% tax on a transaction that affects just a share. However, I recognize that that is not a reasonable rate of taxation on those shares, but it should certainly be some taxation, maybe 5% of that, which means that we are taking those from those who have the money to invest and taking that money and investing that 5% in our society. Let the other 95% just go into the trading between two individuals. But that would introduce such a great revenue of tax, we could probably eliminate income tax altogether. Certainly, we could choose the taxes that we would want to replace with that tax on a useless transaction, useless to everybody except the buyer and the seller. So I don't really understand how this has come about, that there's been no source of revenue there. You take the revenue where you can get it. They take it from people's incomes, but that reduces the production of those people and discourages work, discourages investment in productive assets. So government should consider replacing some of our other more onerous taxes with one that would help our society rather than just hinder the society.